Fala pessoal, tudo bem? Kaká aqui e eu tô trazendo para vocês uma entrevista super especial que eu fiz com a escritora britânica Cressida Cowell, que é a autora da série de livros de Como Treinar o Seu Dragão. Lembrando que o live action do filme estreia a partir do dia 12 de junho nos cinemas e é um filme imperdível. Ele tá muito fiel ao que foi escrito pelos livros, mas também traz as novidades, né? O filme ele é dirigido pelo Dubois, no caso, que ele dirigiu a trilogia animada, né? E tem no elenco a Nico Parker, o Mason Tames como Soluço e o Gerard Butler como Estoico. E também quero dizer que já no streaming do Universal Plus, a trilogia animada de Como Treinar o Seu Dragão está completa no streaming e que vocês podem conferir e fazer a sua grande maratona. Então, agora vocês conferem a entrevista com a autora Cressida Cowell e não perca o live action de Como Treinar o Seu Dragão a partir do dia 12 de junho nos cinemas.
From Lago Nerd website, and it's a nice pleasure and honor to talk with you. And my first question is, what's like to have the partnership with Dean DeBlois in these four movies, How to Train Your Dragon, and if is the prerequisite to the director to look like a Viking?
Yes, Dean. This is wonderful Dean, Dean Dubois, who is the director of all four How to Train Your Dragon movies. And he does actually have a little part in the live action where he does look very good as a Viking. Well, I think even more, I mean, he makes a magnificent Viking, Dean, but I think even more important is that he is just the most wonderful director. And I have been so fortunate to have his vision for the movies carried through, not just in the animations, which is so true to the spirit of my books, these movies. It's all about the wild, the environment, and the coming of age story, and about between the boy and his father. And all of those things are so hardwired into those movies. And this new live action, I think it's very unusual to have the same director of animated movies to then direct the live action. And I can't tell you how much it's worked in this one, because he's incredibly respectful to the original, obviously, because it's his movies, but he also brings out even extra things, I feel, extra things in the movies. So he's even improved in some, I mean, it doesn't replace the animated. This live action does not replace the animated movies in any way whatsoever. But I think it does bring out the emotion between the characters. And that's Dean's direction. And it's also Gerard Butler, who plays Stoic, in the live action as well, and his emotion and his relationship with his son, played brilliantly by Mason Thames, who's only 16, but I mean, incredible performance as Hiccup. He's in almost every scene. And that tender relationship, that very moving relationship, really comes out in the live action. I mean, it is there in the animated as well, but there's something particularly about, I think, that will resonate for children and parents about it being actors, live action. And children can really feel like they might be Hiccup. And to give you a sense of how real the dragons feel, my daughter,
nice.
when we were watching it, she suddenly said, I do hope they're being careful. And she suddenly said, oh, it's not live action. I mean, it's not, the dragons may not be real. It's, yeah. Anyway, so that's my feeling about the director.
That's great. And what's the most valuable and rewarding to you when your books becomes movies?
Well, I mean, I've been incredibly fortunate in how those movies have been made. As I say, they've been really true to the spirit of the books. And there were 12 books. I've got in 12. There were 12 books, and obviously there's only 3 movies. So some things had to be changed in order to tell the story best in movie form. And so I had to be open to that. And that, of course, is difficult when, these are movies that have so much of your heart. I mean, these are books that have so much of your heart in them. The story is very autobiographical. So you have to be open for it being told in a filmic fashion, really beautifully. I think I had courage for that because Dean and Chris, who were the directors on the first animated film, had already directed a film called Lilo and Stitch, which was a really original animated film. So I had confidence, but you also have to have courage and hope. Because a movie is a very different thing from a book. A movie has John Powell's beautiful music. Books are all about words, and movies are the visuals and the music, and they're different. So you have to have courage that the spirit of what you're writing in the book is going to come out in a different art form. Yeah,
That's nice. And the question is Cressida Cowell by Cressida Cowell. What's like to see your stories continue to be a great inspiration and lovely for different generations?
that is so wonderful. Because, of course, you write your book and you're hoping that that is going to happen. And you're hoping, or I was hoping, to get children reading and, to touch other people. That's what you're hoping is going to happen when you write a story. And so now, 27 years after that book was written, I now get adults coming up to me and saying, your book really touched me, or your book, and it got me reading. It got me reading, when I wasn't really reading. Or I have them saying, I was going through a difficult time, and maybe, I don't know, being bullied by peers, and your books or your movies helped me. They were friends to me in a difficult time. And that sort of thing. I mean, that's just wonderful. That's why you're doing what you're doing. You're hoping to make stories that will make a difference to people.
Thanks. And the last question, how's to you to have this trilogy of the 3 movies, and now it's binge watch in the Universal Plus?
I mean, again, it's beyond your wildest dreams. I mean, I never thought that was going to happen, of course. I mean, it's just incredible to see that longevity. And yeah, I'm sort of overwhelmed by, and I think people will be when they see the new movie. It's incredible. The artistry that's gone into making the dragons and and telling that story is just incredible. And it's very humbling to think that I might have started it all. That's a very humbling thought.
Thank you very much for the enjoy conversation, and I hope you have an amazing month.